everyone, I'm Dr. Nina and today I'd like to show you a foam roller flow. So to get started, we'll be lying on our backs. The roller is behind us and we're going to place it right in the middle of your back, so the thoracolumbar junction. We can bring hands behind our head and we're working on some mobility through the mid-back. So depending on your flexibility, you might want to keep the spine flexed if this is feeling sensitive. If you want a bit more mobilization, you can work into a straight spine as you roll all the way from the shoulders down to the thoracolumbar junction. If you want more intensity, you can bring the hips down to the floor, start to work into extension over the roller. Lift the hips up again, find a new spot, same again. So whatever of those forms of movement feel right for your body and don't create any discomfort. We just want a gentle stretch here. Roll a couple more times all the way through the mid-back, all the way up into the shoulders. And we'll work into the lower back. So it's not comfortable in the low back to be at midline. So we're going to end up on one side of the spine and then we'll switch to the other. So in here we're working the quadratus lumborum, the lumbar erector spinae muscles. And again, we'll just gently roll back and forth. If this is causing any discomfort, we want to lift some of our weight off the roller to reduce the intensity. So you can use your hands and your feet to give you a little bit of a lift. I'll just switch to the other side, working through the lumbar spine again. That feels great. Okay, so we're moving into the side body. Latissimus dorsi, serratus anterior, some of the muscles in the shoulder. So rollers at our side, we can lie all the way down, put our head in our hand, and just relax into the lats. So these might feel quite tender, and if they do, we can prop ourselves up a little higher to take the pressure off those spots, or put a blanket over your roller. If you want more intensity, just sink into that spot. We're going to slowly roll front to back to work through some of those tense spots. If you find a particularly tender spot, you can hold, just hold and breathe in that one spot. See if you can get that area to soften. You can also gently add a little bit of a shearing force, either pulling forward or back. You can imagine the layers of skin, fascia, and muscle beneath being pulled apart so they all move freely as they're intended to do so. We'll slowly work up towards the armpit, rolling forwards into pectoralis, at midline through the whole armpit area, and then leaning back to get into the posterior shoulder. We'll roll through that region one more time, forward into the pecs, and slowly back. Great. From here, you can stay on your side. We'll work through the glutes. So you can lift the roller, move it under your hip, and bring your weight down onto the side of your hip. Again, push yourself up if there's too much intensity here. We're going to slowly work side to side. If you bring your weight forward, you'll end up on tensor fascia lata at the hip crease, a little bit to the outside of the hip. That's usually a spot that needs a little attention. And you can roll right onto your side to get into gluteus medius. You can roll a little further back and sit up on the roller to get into the other glute muscles. So either stay here or bring your top foot up over the knee to get into those deep glute muscles. You can roll around a little here, looking for the spots that need a little bit of attention. And we'll repeat that sequence on the other side. So starting with the lats again, come all the way down onto your side, head rests in your hand. Working slowly forward and back. Looking for the spots where you want to hold or perhaps create that shearing force, pulling forward or back. We'll roll into the pecs again, getting a nice stretch to the front of the shoulder, through the armpit, and through the posterior shoulder. We'll do that one more time, coming forward again, through the armpit, and back. And now working into the hips again. Come up onto the roller. Find the side of the hip first, and gently roll forward into tensor fasciae lata. Back to center, into gluteus medius. And rolling towards your back, sitting on the roller. Bring your foot up onto your knee if you like. We'll slowly roll into the deeper external rotators of the hip. Okay, we'll move on from there. We'll be on our hands and knees, and you can come down onto the roller near the hip crease. So we'll be working on quads next. So from here, you can slowly walk your forearms forward and pay attention to your form. So if I'm slouching here, I may end up injuring my back. So tuck the tailbone under slightly, push firmly through the shoulders, and lift the lower front of the rib cage up towards your spine. So we'll slowly walk forward here. If you'd like more intensity, you can lift one of your legs up and place it on top of the other leg. And from here, we're working from the outer quad to the inner side. And then move along from there. You can repeat that all the way to the knee. And we'll slowly come on back to the hip crease again and repeat on the other side. So one leg over the other and gently roll from the inner to the outer quad. If this one's a little too intense, you can have your feet down on the floor. Great. So to continue for front body, we will work into the shins. So you can bring your knees onto your roller, bring your hands to the floor, lift the feet up, and you'll have the tibialis anterior on the roller. If this is too intense, bring your feet back down. If you'd like more intensity, you can bring one leg over the other and slowly work from the knee all the way to the ankle. And again, we can roll a little bit to get to different muscle groups in the shin area. We'll switch sides. And again, work from your inner to your outer shin, from the knee, working towards the ankle. Great. So you can come onto your seat here. We'll work the back side of the body now. So hamstrings first. You can sit right up on the roller. This one, typically we want the intensity to have one leg over the other, or you can do both legs together. So if we're doing one leg at a time, we're rolling from the outer to the inner edge, holding any spots that feel tight. And slowly working your way to the knee by walking your hands backwards. You can roll back to your hips again and switch sides, rolling from the outer to the inner hamstring muscles. We'll move on to the calves next, so the roller will go below your knee. You can lift your hips up for more intensity or stay sitting if you're feeling the pressure already. And for more pressure still, lift one foot over the other. You can work through inner and outer calf just the same way as we did the hamstrings. So rolling side to side, working towards your ankles. And we'll switch sides here. Slowly working your way down the calf. All right, coming back to sitting. We're working through the adductors next. So you'll come into a plank position on your knees. The roller will come out to one side of your body. You can come down onto your forearms and lift your knee up onto the roller. So pay attention to your back here. Tailbone is tucked under, front of the rib cage is lifting, and your shoulder girdle is engaged. So there's a spot very near the knee on the inner thigh where there's often quite a bit of tension. And we can get into this spot by rolling around a little bit, find that area of tension, and then perhaps even straighten out the knee and bend to add a little more intensity to that spot. And then relax the leg again. The foot can come to the floor if you like. And we're slowly moving our whole body towards the roller. And the roller will end up moving towards the attachment for the adductor muscle groups. So all the way up to the inner thigh. You can bring your weight forwards or back to get into different regions of that muscle. And slowly work your way back out to your knee. Those are the most intense spots of all. We'll switch sides. Same thing here, coming into a plank on your knees. Come onto your forearms and bring the knee out onto your roller. You can start to straighten and bend the knee, finding those spots on the inner thigh. And then walk towards the roller on your forearms as the roller moves towards the attachment of the adductors. You can bring your weight a little bit forward or back to find different muscles within that region. And then slowly work your way back towards the knee. There we go. So come on off the roller. Congratulations, you've made it through. I hope your body is feeling fantastic. Thanks so much for watching. Be well and see you soon.